Hi, I'm Jamie Harnish, Toronto Real Estate Navigator with Bosley Real Estate. If you somewhat regularly watch my videos, then you may have seen some examples in the past where I beat up on the media a little bit and give them crap for portraying market statistics that I think may be not telling the true story of the state of the market. Today I'm going to point the finger squarely at myself and tell you how I may be potentially misleading you with certain market statistics. At the beginning of every month, I release a stats video that covers Toronto's core and then the remainder of the city that surrounds Toronto's core. And I focus on two statistics specifically that I think do the best job at giving a great overview of the current state of the market. Sales to new listing ratio and months of inventory. Now, the sales to new listing ratio compares the total number of monthly sales with the number of new listings that were brought out to the market during that same time period. But here's the issue. A new listing may not actually have been a new listing. It may have been an old listing that was terminated or taken off of the MLS system and then relisted, maybe at a lower price, maybe at a higher price, maybe at the same price, or maybe with a new realtor. It doesn't matter, whatever the case is. The reason that that is done is in order to reset the days on market counter back to zero to make it seem like it's a fresh listing. Here's an example of a property that was listed for $1.378 million on July the 5th of this year. You can see the contract date below the picture on the left side. Now, the initial listing strategy by the sellers and the listing realtor was to have an offer date. So that's why you see the days on market counter as 8. Ultimately, and I don't know the circumstances, but the offer night was not successful. So this listing in particular was canceled or terminated and was relisted at an asking price of $1.498 million on July the 16th. This practice clearly messes with the ability of someone to accurately be able to figure out how many new listings there were in a particular month. And tracking this problem would entail looking into the listing history of every single one of the City of Toronto's nearly 5,000 listings if we're using July as an example. And July tends to be a bit of a slower month when it comes to new listings. May of this year, for example, the City of Toronto had almost 7,000 new listings. So while I mean well releasing statistics to try and help people get a gauge on what's going on in the market, clearly you can see there's an issue with the statistics that I have access to, and unfortunately there's not much that I can do. Ultimately, you need to take everything with a grain of salt, and in order to be truly accurate, you need to look at things at a neighborhood level. As always, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me directly. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.